Alrighty then. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's live Q&A for the members. I appreciate you being here. It has been a month and a bit, hasn't it? So how is your dancing going? How is it traveling? What are you noticing as far as your improvement goes and as far as what you're looking to do in your actual dancing and your competitive life? I have some great questions here today from Kevin, Thara, Moritz, Nancy, and Gina. Now, Dave, unfortunately, I couldn't get to the what's it called? The demonstration as quick as I wanted to today, but that's okay. So the Fascination Waltz we can do next month. Feel free to send another one as well. As for anyone else out there, please send your videos through. I really appreciate when you do that because it's a bit easier to learn from your dancing rather than just the questions sometimes. So it really does depend. There might be other things I can help you with instead. So for example, in this first one, we are going to hit this up. Rumba. Kevin, can you please give me a demonstration with a partner if possible? Unfortunately for these, I can't really have a partner. It's a bit too difficult and costly to often bring a partner in, but that's okay. The sliding doors in Rumba. I am sorry that I can't send a video. You should be, Kevin. I need a video. A three-step, I understand. Look, you can always send me a video and I don't have to air it. Okay, so you can send me it and I can look at it, just tell me that explicitly. Alemana three-step turn, then the man stepping forward with the left foot, raising the left arm, and the lady underarm turn and then into a sliding door twice. Okay, the lady spinning out and the man stepping forward to join. I hope you can understand. It doesn't appear too smooth transition of arms from underarm into sliding doors. So I'm not, okay, so it depends. As sliding doors, typically it starts, it's there for the man back and then normally here and then a cucaracha and then forward, right? And the lady starts backwards and then she goes forward and then she rocks and then goes backwards, right? So in competition, you often see the lady, rocking and then stepping towards the man and then going backwards, okay? So a more advanced variation. So when you say Alemana, I'm assuming, so let's say you're the man, you're going forward, Alemana, right? The hand goes up. Now, first things first, you're transferring weight well. When you go backwards, make sure that you rope spinning, you lasso the arm. So you generally go like 2, 3, and then you close and change feet again. Now you say you're turning a three-step turn. This is why I need a video because there could be a few ideas here on what's happening. Are you doing the three-step turn or is she? Right? Because from here, you can go into the sliding doors. You understand? So that's what I'm assuming. And I'm assuming you're doing the basic version. So what I want you to feel though, is the check, right? So get that back knee to touch the front knee. Loosen the arms up with a bit more balance from being grounded in the floor. Hips have to work well, as in a Cuban rock action, and then come back. Now, if you're moving away and coming back towards each other and the arms are stiff, the thing you got to remember about arms is that if you have a good foundation in terms of balance, like the feet, you're transferring weight, your heels and toes, the balls of your feet are providing good connection to the floor, and your steps aren't too big. With good balance, you can start to relax your upper body because you're not, it's like a survival mechanism, right? So if I move my arms, if I'm off balance, I'm going to grab, aren't I? I'm going to be very tight. So you have to have an ability to relax your arms. So the tip I'm going to give you is, I want you to focus on good foot placement because I can't see the choreography, so I'm not going to bother with that. I want you to take your feet and notice where you turn them out correctly. I want you to notice when you go forward, note in the the Alemana and of course the sliding doors, that first step is a check. So your back knee must touch the front one. You don't want to get right over the leg with a full straight leg. And then notice when you rock back that you can support your weight on the back leg. All right, and when you do your next movements, whatever they may be, cucaracha, your weight's in the middle, you see? So my hip in a cucaracha goes towards the leg like that and back around. I don't actually go over the leg and lift that heel up and then come back. But cucaracha, by definition, the weight's part weight, and I rotate through the hips and then come back through, you see? So if you can focus on placing the feet a little better, watch how your arms start to loosen up, and feel free to send me a video so I can understand a bit more. Well, hey, hello. What you doing down there? So the tango. Right, okay. Vaughan, could you please explain how to do an outside spin in the tango? I can. We've done this in the waltz, and while it takes some work in tango, it's not as smooth as we'd like. We'd start from promenade position. Well, that's okay. It's a promenade figure. And we move into the outside spin and finish with the back lock and promenade. promenade what? Just a back lock and then a link, I would say. Could you break down the figures, including when to use heels and toes, and offer tips to improve the outside part of the spin? I can. Look, the good news, I'm really glad that Yoshi did that figure in the waltz. I remember breaking down off that book. I brought the book back because I want to just show you, here's what you have to understand. Many advanced figures can be danced across waltz, foxtrot, quickstep, and tango, okay? The thing about tango that you just keep in mind is that you shouldn't swing. You do not swivel your feet, whereas you will swivel and like work through the balls of your feet a lot in the waltz. And there's no rise. So if there's no rise, you're not really going heel toe, you know what I mean? So the way I look at this, because the footwork's not broken out for tango, but the way I look at this, the heel and toe, for example, in the outside spin, okay, so you're in promenade, that's a heel. Now, if I go heel, toe, 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 heel, it's not going to work, is it? So basically for the man, this first step is heel, then ball heel, then ball heel. And then you create your heel pivot action on 2 flat feet. Then this will be heel again. This is the problem you're having, right? Getting around. So this is CBMP, very strong step. And you have to go outside the lady here, Peter. So the main thing here is, Thara, is that you're not taking a big step backwards because he has to come around you, right? Left curve. So that again will just be basically heel ball. I have to get a bit of space, I'm sorry about that. So heel ball, right? And then you take your left foot to the side and back. So you want to come around ball heel. That then creates your pivot. Of course, you're not rising, so you just put the heel down and turn, right? And then step, I'm not sure what you're doing there, but then, you know, that was a stop lock by accident. So I'm not sure if are you continuing? So remember, it's a quick open natural turn. That's the first 3 steps. And then an outside spin. So open natural turn, outside spin, right? So when the man finishes his pivot there, you can omit the extra pivot. So I can do this part. It's not really much of an outside spin. I could stop here and do a lock, right? But this spin is missing, isn't it? And that's sort of the whole point. You want to turn strongly and then step, and then the lady closes and comes back between the legs, and we create our pivot. So I'm not sure where the backward lock comes in, if there's a step in between it. Are you stepping onto the right foot and then moving off? That would probably make sense. And then, you know, a link. But either way, the problem is not really the back lock. I'm not worried about that. It's the spin, yeah? So the same for you, Thara. If you're going from promenade, okay, so this will be, you know, heel, across in CBMP and promenade, heel, and then you're coming forward. Normally it's going to be, you know, you're up on your toes now. Just do heel again, heel, and then bring that side through. Now, the man's doing his heel pivot here. So you take your right foot. This is the thing. You got to sneak past him as he does that heel pivot. He pivots, and you got to come around, close flat-footed, turn on the feet, obviously, and then come out and around him, okay? Now, I'll read something from the book that'll help you a little bit, and this is to do with the turn. As the man is commencing to turn to the right, no, there'll be turn, where is it? Where's the thing I read? Yeah, so this figure will be danced with tango character and technique. Careful not to rise or swing, but place the feet without a swiveling action. The outside spin and natural pivot must be well grounded. The rhythm is quick count throughout without split beats. So quick, 6 quicks. Quick, 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 quick. The open heel pivot for the man allows the lady's continuation of movement. So it's unnecessary to create the fault of pulling with the arms to lead the lady. Note the feet are flat on 4. That's the outside spin. All right. There was a thing here. Because of half a turn to 1 to 3, there's half a turn between steps 1 to 3. Okay, so between steps 1 to 3, not here. So steps 1 to 3, step 1, 2, 3. So you're diagonal to wall. And the necessity to lead the lady outside as you do the open heel pivot action is danced on 4. Step 3 is taken in CBMP. So again, not promenade, but here, step 1, 2, 3. That right foot's in CBMP here, okay? It loses the side lead, and then as the side lead produces a loose and uncontrolled action, you do the heel pivot, and the weight ends on the left foot. And now you can, what's here on 4, you can now take that foot outside of her. So what the thing I would focus on here is step 3. So that's when you're in this CBMP position, and you turn on both flat feet like that, then take that right foot and keep it tight. Turn around the lady, yeah, da, and then step. what you should feel is no pivot, no pulling between you and the arms, okay? So that means for you, Thara, when you're doing these steps, all right, you're in your promenade. Okay, so step one, this for you is CBMP. Point your foot, because that's diagonal line of dance, that's diagonal to wall, just to be clear. The second step, right foot forward, is facing diagonal to wall, just on a heel. But your body is turning, yeah? Now, left foot, then forward, heel. That's where his foot is in CBMP. You can now pass him, right? So his foot's over there. The right foot can go outside of him, moving and pointing towards the wall. So you need that right foot to point towards the wall. And then as you close, face the center here. When you come out on the right foot, it's back to diagonal to wall. You understand? So it's a full turn, okay? Give that a practice, see how you go. What I'd recommend is that the biggest problem you're gonna have there is Peter doing his heel pivot, the pivot action. What is difficult is turning on both feet. Often one foot will be more dominant, like the right one. So you wanna get a bit more grounded so you end on the left foot. Lift the right foot up, and then you'll find you can now step outside. Be careful not to have momentum. It's very easy in that third step to create your turn and throw your body into the next bit, because that's what in the waltz, you're rotating more than moving, but it's still a problem in both dances, right? Okay, let me know how that goes. Okay, Quickstep. Hello, Moritz. Hi, Vaughan. I have a dance performance next week and therefore have a question. How do I create energy and speed in my Quickstep hops so they still look good like Quickstep? Can you give me a tutorial on this step? I haven't quite understood it. Thank you for your instruction and great tips. Now, I did send you a video on the hops. I hope you went through that because you need the foundation of understanding how to use that. Fundamentally, though, the type of movement we create in Quickstep is a propulsion. So it's foot to foot. So here's an exercise you can practice. You said the hops, yeah? I'm just going to use some chasses. You go like this, on the balls of your feet, and then pushing out of the right foot. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Diagonal 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. And what you want to feel dancing on the balls of your feet is you're actually pushing, right? You're pushing foot to foot, push foot to foot. Keep the weight a little bit more forward than normal. And it's the back foot that drives the energy, not the moving foot. So if I just focus on the foot moving, it's like I'm pulling my body weight. That's not what I want. I want to feel my body weight pushing like you're running. Then you got to practice that. Now, the most important thing is to do that with the correct postural position, because often people go faster, they collapse their body, which makes the movement heavier. So quick step is not big steps. I'll say it again. It's not big steps. It's lots of little steps danced lightly, fun, trick figures, but not massive. So I don't give a fuck if people are galloping around that room. Don't you gallop. There is only a certain size step you need to take. Now, you might take 16 steps in a row. I'll give you an example. There's a step called the promenade to counter promenade runs, which we use from samba. But for example, once you go into promenade here, right, we're running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But you can do that type of thing. Note the size of my steps. Because what we're trying to do is create a rhythm. I'm not going like this. Like, it's fucking retarded. Like, you're dancing, right? So what you're trying to show is, even though it's quick and light and fun, you're trying to show a rhythm, yeah? Light, 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 right? You understand? So you might be caught up on trying to compete, get caught up on performing artistry, showing rhythm, timing, control. When everyone's fast, be slow. When everyone's slow, be fast, right? Like, you try to use that type of idea, because not every step is the same. I can guarantee if your entire routine is just nothing but runs and jumps and hops, ask to put in some slows, right? Do some quick open reverses, do some chasses, progressive chasses, add some tipsies in there, do a tipple chasse, you know, control your dancing, like, learn to have different rhythms. It's not all just fast. Right? Don't lose the idea here. And unfortunately, that happens a lot in competitive dancing. But show me a video, because I know you're a young guy, so show me a video. I'd like to see it, okay? Let's see the next part. Okay. We're up to form and function. Nancy, swing and sway. Hi, Vaughan. Hello, Nancy. I've been working on Silver American Smooth, trying to get the hang of swing and sway through all my steps. Any tips on keeping left while turning and dancing my free side? Any advice would be appreciated. Well, first of all, yes, I'd appreciate a bit more of a specific question about the dance. What dance are you doing? And then what step are you talking about? And is swing and sway the problem? Or are they steps that are they terms your coaches use, but you don't understand them and haven't asked them, right? What's a free side? What's the left side? But fundamentally, when you have a center here, and as a man and lady, and you're in your curve and your poise, dancing your left side brings you around the man in contact position. Think of it this way, if I'm turning to the right, I actually want to bring my left side around. That's what creates the nice movement, doesn't it? So I can turn to the right, try this, I can turn to the right and leave my left side back there. It's very hard to turn. Okay, now dancing a free side, I don't really know what that terminology means necessarily, but I would say that would be the side maybe not connected, which is your left side, right? So there you go, it's the same thing. But if you dance a free side in a movement, if you're on your own, what would happen is you of course you expand it out, leave your body back towards your partner and step away. But again, I would like to see a video, a bit more of a specific question, okay? Because otherwise I give a generic answer and it might just waste everyone's time and your own because it may not answer what you're asking. But I love that you answered me a question today and I want you to answer me another one. Now, Gina, last question for our Q&A. Hi, Vaughan, I'm a busy person, much like yourself. And so my daily practice needs to be productive. I have 3 personal studio practice sessions. That's great. 2 private lessons, 2 classes a week. That's amazing. What, you're up on the top there. I plan my practice sessions in advance, making sure I put into practice improvements my teacher has highlighted. I video them, take notes, and that went well. What did not, and what questions I need to ask at the end of the lesson. That's awesome, right? Good on you. That's an awesome student, right? It reminds me a lot of how I do things, and that's really great. That's really great. I read any dance book I can get my hands on, watch your videos, and found your monthly lessons beyond helpful. Well, that's great. Thank you, because I have no idea sometimes. Because the feedback is, there's a lot of people here, and of course I know time zone people can't always show up live, but the feedback's really important for me because I don't know. And so I make decisions whether I continue these based on feedback. Okay, so I'll answer questions, but I might do it in a different format down the track if I don't get enough people joining in or submitting questions. So if you're watching them, let me know. Like, leave a comment at the end if you are watching these but not submitting questions, because then I can make better choices about how I move my business forward, because I may not continue with these forever, right? So I probably won't forever, obviously. But yeah, then I can iterate on what you guys need. So I do this for you all. Like, it's not for me, it's for you, all right? So I do feel I'm progressing week to week, sometimes massive light bulb moments, but mainly small wins amounting to big improvements, to the point where I can't bear to watch old training videos of myself. Yeah, I know that one. That's real. Is there anything else I could do or should be doing? I'm not asking because I'm in a hurry, but I want to make sure I have a plan, purposeful practice always. Thank you for all you do, Gina. That is a fantastic question. Okay. So to those who feel they're at their maximum capacity, right? You've got this. So here's the thing. What you've got is you've got your strategy in place. Okay, you've got your tactics in place. My strategy is I watch my videos and I make improvements to those by watching these videos, and then any mistakes I make, I get my teacher to fix them. You're very tactical, like I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to turn up there, hence being productive in your feeling. What I would recommend you do is keep in mind, this is more about mindset, not even that term. It's just more about the perception of what you're doing. More doesn't mean better. And quality is always better than quantity when we're looking to improve. Now, there are times where you're going to want quality and quantity if you can do it that way, but there's always a maximum, right? You can only train so much. So for example, if you were saying I was training 5 hours a day, I'd say that's a waste of time. So it'd be better to go harder and more specific in like 45 minutes to an hour, maybe have a break and do another half an hour, than to do 5 hours in a row, right? Because that's just, your human body just cannot maximize itself like that, no matter who you are. This includes Olympians. So if they can't do it, neither of us can, right? So that's where the being, smarter, not harder is very, very important. And then looking at the quality of a quantity. So which I think you're in that space. So first of all, I would say, don't worry about trying to add more time in or more in. Maybe it's like good design. You strip away. So good design is not when you add more. It's often when you can't take anything else away without losing its beauty. I think that's a really nice way to approach things. Now, that doesn't mean you strip away time, okay? So if you're doing like 2 hours or whatever, keep to that. How can you use it a little better? And that's what you find for yourself. So that's what I did. I found my thing and I use it online to teach people. I say, here, dance planner. Look at my dance planner. Have you got that? Download it, have a look at it, and think, okay, it's got 10 dances there, but you don't focus on all 10 every practice, do you? So within a dance, like say cha-cha, which I just did a masterclass on, which you can check out, I broke down like the chasses and the walks. So like that will be quality over quantity, which is just say doing the routine every time you're in the studio for an hour, right? Because what you're doing is you're being very slow and methodical. So for example, with cha-cha, it would pay dividends to be very deliberate and start practicing learning to settle, shape your legs, shape your body slow, right? Not always speed, quality, right? You look in the mirror, trying to get your body to work better, yeah? And I mean slow. So it's hard to do and it's actually exhausting. This is why you can't do it for long durations without diminishing the look and the quality of your actual movement. Do people do that? No, no, that's actually the work of the artist. It's difficult and it's fucking painstaking, to be honest. It's much easier to turn up, bash out routines to music, and then think that's going to improve you. Now, by the way, there's nothing wrong with just dancing. Like dancing's great, you know, like Dave sends in his videos. That's dope. And he is just moving along, dancing. He's putting in some improvements. He's getting incremental improvements, and that's great. So that's for him. So for you, it will depend what your outcome is, okay? Because if I suggest that, what I just suggested about this slow stuff to a social dancer, they'll just go, I'm not interested. And fair enough, because that is what you need to do to improve your skills, to actually move up a level. And to do that means that you're a bit mental. No, it means that you want it. Yeah, there's something driving you to do 2 lessons and 2 private lessons and 3 practice sessions a week. There's something beyond just doing the competition stuff. Because turning up with tactics and strategy doesn't mean you have what I'm talking about to make yourself improve, because there's something in you that's like, I want this, right? I have people that have turned up in the studio daily, but they didn't want it. So when they would turn up, they would talk, they'd chat, they'd do a little bit of dancing and say, I dance 5 days a week. So what? You can improve more in 2 days if you want it, right? So you do, and now you're in an examination phase. So that's great. And that's a wonderful process to be in. And so the framework I'm giving for this is that you don't rush the creative process. So part of becoming, going into this sort of territory about improvement is that, first of all, it's never ending. And that's progress over perfection, which is the whole mantra of Thora Mastery Academy, right? Progress over perfection. So if there's no arrival point, even if you win, there's no arrival point, then the thing is, it's a creative process. And so within that, you're experimenting with what brings you like the most joy every time you dance. Does this make sense? So there's a feeling sometimes of satisfaction in doing dissatisfying practice. So when I'm going into something that's like, this hurts, this is hard, it's the brain releases dopamine and you get endorphins, right? And so you're feeling good at the end of it, or maybe even through it, but you may not like it in the moment, right? And so that's what I'm talking about with the creative process, is that it can be very painful and difficult to execute. But the execution of that is what makes you advanced. It's what makes you master the basics. That whole process to me is actually creative versus strategic and tactical. So that's where you say, do I need to do more? Not really, right? Like it's the doing more, doing less. Like that's a logical, rational thing. We're looking at a creative process of, okay, as you do what you're doing without adding any more time on, for example, how can you use that in a creative way that gets the results in your body, that feels good, but also like the actual process is really joyful? Because if I told you to train more and you did it, you might end up like hating me or resenting yourself for doing more, right? If you do less, the same can occur. So now we don't worry about less more. We look at the creative process within it and think about, okay, I'm going to change up that a little bit. I might do more of this deliberate slow practice. Then I might flip that and do way more of the intense, like hard practice. So for example, with that, you could do 5 sambas to music in a row, each 1 minute long. Or you could do, I'm going to dance every one of my routines to a full song, no matter how long that song is, and then pick the ones that are like 2 minutes 30, right? And then you do that and you don't stop. And see the contrast there? And you might find, that'll be exhausting, right? But then you'll find that slow practice combined with that, it might be like, that was awesome. And you might say that's strategic, but you got to remember that when you're in the zone of actually doing that, you're not thinking about your technique and strategy. You're actually moving and dancing. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get your body to sort of move up another level, okay? So play around with that and let me know what you do. You know, what you may strip back in that sense within the time you've allocated, what you may decide to add a little bit more on when you get that time and space for yourself, okay? I want to thank everyone for being here, and I appreciate you being here. Please remember, comment, share, like, tell people about this. I make decisions about all this stuff based upon the interactions with it, the emails you give me, and I know it's very beneficial for a lot of you. But I need it to be beneficial going forward as I continue to expand this work online. And as a tribe, you guys are awesome. We're doing great. We're building out a lot of people here actually on YouTube and also behind the scenes. So I really am grateful for you, and I would like to hear from you and see your videos next month. All right. So thank you, and all the best.